Chosen one, listen carefully. Something long buried is moving again. A door you thought was sealed has begun to open. A name you pushed into silence has been stirred in the spirit. Someone you used to love is coming back to you. Not by chance or because of nostalgia, but because it's true. You don't expect this truth to be here. You knew it before this message got to you. A sudden memory, a dull ache, or a feeling of familiarity that hits your mind out of the blue. You tried to forget about it. Even though you told yourself it wasn't important, your spirit knew it was a sign. Heaven is stirring up something that isn't quite done. It's not about putting old wounds open again. This isn't about going over old ground. It has to do with revelation. God is letting them come back. Because something must be shown that was hidden. Something that was misunderstood. Something that couldn't come to the surface before. Dear child of God, this person's departure did not happen by accident. They changed you by being absent. Their silence changed you. When they left, you had to grow in ways you hadn't planned. Even though you made it through the breakup, the story did not end the way you thought it would. It stopped. Now heaven is ready to play again. This may make you wonder why now. Why after you've healed? Why after some time? Why after being accepted? The answer is God's perfect timing. There are some truths that can't be told until both people are ready to hear them. There are some things that people can't say until they lose their pride. There are some things you only understand after you've lost something. This return is not a fluke, it has been called. God is telling you that the person you loved has been carrying a lot. A truth that they couldn't say. The truth was learned too late. It was a regret that got louder in the dark. After leaving, they were confused and felt like they didn't understand. But time has brought them face to face. They have heard from isolation. And God took care of them, picked. They couldn't get to the truth they carry now back then. Their thoughts were foggy. Their heart was on guard. Their spirit was too young. They were having trouble seeing. But being far away can help you see better. Loss can teach you to be honest. It's also said that silence can make you listen. In the spirit. This is why the return feels different. You don't feel any chaos. You don't feel like you're being manipulated. You can feel weight. You can feel gravity. You can tell it's serious. There's something real coming. Be slow to come to a conclusion. This return is not automatically matched up. This is a revelation. The past is not being fixed by God. He is telling the truth. And the truth can heal, free, or change things. You really loved this person. That love wasn't stupid. It was honest. It was clean. However, love doesn't always keep us from getting stupid. Love can exist before you are fully grown. There are times when love comes before sense. And sometimes you have to break up with someone to understand them. You didn't think they would tell you the truth when they got there, but they did. It's not just an apology. The reason given is not a casual one. It changes the way the whole story is told. Something that changes the way you see yourself. That takes away the blame you were carrying around without needing to. God's child. You were too hard on yourself for too long. You didn't know what went wrong. You played back conversations. You thought about moments. You had doubts about your worth. But the truth that is coming back was never about how you failed. It was because they were afraid, young, and couldn't stand up for what they knew to be true. They ran away because what they felt with you was too much for them. They broke up because the connection made them face parts of themselves they weren't ready to face. They chose to stay apart because getting close would have forced them to grow in ways they weren't ready for at the time. God made the separation happen to keep you safe. You shrunk as you tried to make room for someone who couldn't meet you where you were. Heaven stepped in not to punish you, but to protect you. Now the person is back, not to take something from you, but to tell you something they wouldn't have said before. They come with knowledge. They come with a sense of humility. They come with a truth that has been shaped by loss. You must fully understand this, chosen one. You don't have to go back just because they came back. It means you should know the truth. The truth brings peace. Truth makes things better. Truth makes things clear. And being clear brings peace. God sometimes lets people come back not to fix a relationship, but to correct a story, restore honor, free you from false conclusions, and show you that you are not the problem. Now is one of those times. Since they left, you've changed. You're stronger. You can tell the difference. You're no longer desperate to be liked. It's no longer time for you to be picked. You made your own choice. Heaven praised that choice. The truth that they carry now will meet a different you. Another one that doesn't beg, one that doesn't chase, one that listens with knowledge instead of emotion. A version that knows that love is incomplete without truth. It's important that you don't get scared, confused, or pulled back by old feelings, because God is getting you ready for this meeting. This message is both a warning and a way to get ready. The return will test how smart you are. It will make you feel things. Memories will come back to you. But you will also learn things that set you free. Chosen one, you are not being asked to hurt people again. You are being asked to see the truth, stand in your truth, listen without losing yourself, and receive without giving up your peace. This isn't about going back to the past. It's about making understanding better. Heaven is a part of this moment. God is in charge of the timing. Angels are watching over your heart. The truth that is coming at you won't kill you. It will make you stronger. Don't move around. Don't worry. Keep your mind clear. The story won't happen again. It's almost done. And this is just the start of what God is going to show us. You were chosen, and now heaven opens the next level. What is going on isn't just based on feelings. It is based on revelation. God is telling you that this person's return is connected to a spiritual balance. There comes a time when the truth can't be hidden any longer, and people must speak the truth. There has been a quiet war between these two people. Not with you, but inside of them. They were falling apart while you were getting better. They were facing what they had been avoiding while you were growing. They were learning what they lost while you were learning to stand on your own. God gave you both different amounts of time to work on you, because you needed different kinds of help. That time, they weren't ready. That's the truth. God shows them that they thought they were choosing peace when they left. But being far away did not bring peace. It got attention. It got rid of all the distractions. They had to sit and think about it. They had to face the questions they tried to avoid. It made them think about how heavy what they left behind was. That's why they're coming back now. They are coming back because God has been taking care of them. In a thorough way, not gently or quickly. God has been taking down their pride. God has been speaking back to their excuses. God has been showing them patterns they picked up and kept doing. God has been showing them how their decisions were based on fear rather than logic. They can now see things they couldn't see before. Chosen one, the truth they're telling you is not on the surface. It's not a good reason for what happened. It's not a softer version of what happened. It's not polished. It's heavy. It wakes you up. This is the kind of truth that comes out only after someone has lost someone. They are coming to tell you that they hurt you, that they didn't understand you, that they put their own problems on you, that they mixed up love and pressure, and that they ran away from the thing that was supposed to heal them. This truth isn't meant to make your heart feel better. It's meant to make your name look better. God is making things right. There were times when you didn't think you were worth much. There were times when you wondered if you were too much. There were times when you felt guilty for their withdrawal. There were times you thought they would have stayed if you had been different. Heaven wants you to know that this was never about how short you are. It had to do with them not being ready. Even though they loved you, they didn't know how to receive love that made them grow. Another thing is being shown by God. It was planned for the delay. The truth would not have been complete if they had come back earlier. They would have talked from confusion instead of clarity. They would have talked out of emotion instead of understanding. That being said, they now talk from revelation. Everything changes after revelation. This is why God waited until you were strong enough to cope with the truth. Until you were well enough to listen without having to beg. You are not the same person you were before they left, until you were ready to receive without losing yourself. And that was done on purpose. The wise word from the prophet is this: God is not making things right between them. God is bringing back the truth. And sometimes the truth is the last gift before a door shuts for good. Truth can be a blessing, because it lets you move on without worrying about what if. Do not think that the return means to keep going. It means the end. Right now, there is also spiritual warfare going on. When the truth is about to come out, there is always resistance. Doubt will speak. It will bring up old feelings. It will bring back memories. The enemy will try to trick you by mixing longing and nostalgia, but being smart will help you stay steady. Chosen one, don't be fooled by this resistance. The enemy will try to cloud your mind whenever you are about to have a big revelation. No amount of emotion can help you get through this mess. You need to make a plan. The truth doesn't rush you. The truth doesn't shove you. The truth won't trick you. There is only truth, and it speaks clearly. God is telling you that this person is not coming back to make demands. They are coming back with a humble attitude. They're not coming back to make a claim. They are coming back to say sorry. They are not taking back power. They are going back to release. They have come to a deep understanding. They didn't get stronger by running away. It showed how weak they were. They were not freed when they lost you. Their fear came out. They were not safe in silence. It put them on the spot. They now know what they had. Dear child of God, this is not a time for punishment. It's about fairness, fair play. God wants to make sure that you don't carry fake guilt into the next season. God wants to make sure that you don't define yourself by how badly someone else loves. This is good correction from God. There's a message here. In the Bible, God often gave people a chance to fix a mistake before moving on. The brothers of Joseph came back to face the truth about what they did. Jacob went back to face Esau with humility. The lost son came back with an apology, not a claim of right. The Bible talks about returns, but they aren't always restorations. They can be revelations at times. God wants you to be calm and in charge at this moment. Listen without taking it all in. Listen without taking the blame on yourself. Receive without making wounds worse. You're not being checked out. You are being praised. You won't know how much this truth will free you. You'll know why certain things happened. Why conversations felt unfinished. Why there was never a clear ending. And why your spirit never felt at peace with how it all ended. Truth makes you feel better. Something inside you will change because of this meeting. Not because you need them, but because you want it to be clear. And things are getting clear. God also wants to warn you. Don't make the past seem better. Do not change the past. What happened is still there after they tell the truth. It makes sense. Allowance is not the same as explanation. Understanding doesn't need to be returned. You can know the truth and still make a choice to move forward. Picked. This is a holy moment. Heaven has carefully planned it all out. It's safe for you. You are being led. You're not by yourself. The truth that they tell you won't make you crazy. It will make you more stable. What God wants to say is even more picked. Heaven now explains why this return is taking place right now. In the spiritual world, timing is important. God doesn't do anything early. God never is late. Everything works out when hearts are ready to hear the truth without any changes. This return has to happen now. It would have killed you if it had happened sooner. You were too soft, too hurt, too willing to bend, and too responsible for pain that wasn't yours to bear. God put this off because He wanted to keep your identity safe. It was time for you to heal. It took time for you to grow. It took you some time to figure out who you are without them. You're only now strong enough to hear the truth without falling over. God is making it clear that this return is part of His plan, not ours. Emotional timing would have brought you back together out of longing. Divine timing brings truth and clarity back together. One makes things mess up. The other way leads to freedom. Now this person is ready to break. Their own reasons for doing what they did fell apart. The stories they told themselves stopped being true. The distractions didn't work. The silence was too much to bear. God let their comfort fall so that the truth could rise. Being convinced is uncomfortable. In the quiet, God spoke to them. While no one was looking, when no one was praising them, or when no one was letting them off the hook for what they did. That's where the truth was born. Not in a conversation or a nostalgic thought, but by yourself. They learned a painful thing. They didn't lose you because you were bad. They lost you because they weren't ready. It took time to realize this. Pride fought it. Fear kept it away. Ego said no. But in the end, the truth won out. That's why they're coming back now. God put off telling them the truth until it was fully formed. Not part formed, not practiced, not defensive, but fully formed. God also waited until your heart was healed enough to hear the truth without wanting something to happen. You no longer need them to come back to prove your worth. It's very important. Heaven also shows us something more profound. There is a link between this return and spiritual warfare. When God is getting ready to move you up to a new level, any unfinished soul ties need to be resolved, not reattached. You needed to make sense of an energetic link that existed. Not because it still controlled you, but because it had shaped you in the past. There is nothing left behind when God shuts a door. Unanswered questions cause problems in the spiritual world. If you have questions, God doesn't want you to bring them with you into the next chapter. Lack of clarity comes from doubt. Confusing things weakens authority. The field is being cleared by heaven. This return doesn't take away from anything. It's a wonderful cleanup. There are some truths that couldn't come out when feelings were high. But now feelings have calmed down. There has been healing. The point of view has grown up. This is when it's safe to tell the truth. God let you grow out of the pain before you knew what caused it. That's kindness. The spiritual explanation also has to do with responsibility. God doesn't let people hurt His chosen ones without telling them about it. Being fair doesn't always mean being punished. At times, it looks like realizing something. They now have to carry the weight of knowing what they lost. They are not meant to confuse you, God. They are a way for Him to reassure you. Another reason for this timing is that you are smart. You can now see well. You aren't driven by your feelings anymore. You are led by knowledge. Your search for love is over. You are walking with a goal. The situation is different now that you are older. You would have been too busy if they had come back earlier. You would have tried to make things better. You should have taken care of things. But now you can listen without getting lost. That's growth. God also tells you that this return is in line with your breakthrough. Now you're in a new level, new chances, new clarity, and new power. Before starting new assignments, old attachments need to be taken care of. It's not about them. It's about you. Their reply is the last proof that you were never turned down. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description, or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers. You are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. You were redirected, you were preserved, you were protected. God closed that door because it was no longer safe for you to stay inside it. Now the door opens briefly, not for re-entry, but for understanding. Another spiritual layer is exposure. Truth exposes lies you believed about yourself. You believed you were too intense, too emotional, too demanding, too complicated. The truth coming now will dismantle those lies. You were none of those things. You were simply aligned with someone who was not ready to grow. God is restoring your self-perception. This return also dismantles hidden enemies. There were voices that fed you false narratives, voices that blamed you, voices that questioned your worth. Truth silences those voices. Light dissolves darkness. Heaven wants you to notice how calm you feel thinking about this return. That calm is confirmation. If this were meant to destabilize you, you would feel anxiety. If this were meant to pull you backward, you would feel confusion. But instead you feel steady. That steadiness is the Spirit. God is preparing you to listen with authority, not desperation, not longing, authority. You are not meeting them from the place of loss. You are meeting them from the place of wholeness. That changes everything. This return is also teaching you discernment. Not every return is an invitation. Some are closures, some are lessons, some are confirmations. You will know which this is by how it makes you feel afterward. Truth brings peace. Manipulation brings confusion. God is also reminding you of your worth. Someone who once walked away now returns with truth. That is not coincidence. That is acknowledgement. They now see what you carried. They now understand what you offered. They now recognize what they mishandled. This recognition does not require you to go back. It requires you to stand tall. Chosen one. Heaven is aligning everything. Your past is being clarified so your future can unfold without interference. This moment will pass quickly. The truth will be spoken. The weight will lift and you will step forward lighter than before. God is not reopening the wound. He is sealing it completely. This is divine timing, and there is still more to be revealed. Chosen one. Heaven now reveals the signs that confirm this return is not imagined, not emotional, and not accidental. God always leaves markers. He always prepares the heart before revealing the truth. And if you are listening closely, you will recognize these confirmations already surrounding you. The first sign is the sudden reappearance of their name in your thoughts without effort. You were not dwelling on them. You were not searching for them. Yet their name surfaced gently without pain, without longing. This was not memory. This was prompting. God allows certain names to rise when a chapter is ready to close properly. The second sign is the emotional neutrality you now feel. In the past, even the thought of them stirred strong emotion. Now it does not. You remember without breaking. You reflect without acting. This emotional stability is confirmation that healing has occurred. God never brings truth back into an unhealed heart. The third sign is the clarity you have gained about yourself. You know your worth now. You recognize your boundaries. You understand your needs. This self-awareness did not exist before. It is the foundation that allows truth to land without destroying peace. The fourth sign is the way God has been quieting your spirit. You have felt led into stillness. Less noise, less explanation, less urgency. This quiet is not emptiness, it is preparation. God prepares hearts for revelation in silence. The fifth sign is the shift in your dreams. Your dreams may have changed tone. They may feel calmer, more symbolic, less chaotic. When truth is approaching, dreams become messengers rather than warnings. They speak in clarity rather than confusion. The sixth sign is the sense of expectancy without anxiety. You are not waiting desperately. You are simply aware that something is unfolding. This calm expectancy is spiritual alignment. Fear does not accompany divine orchestration. The seventh sign is the internal prompting to forgive without reopening wounds. You have felt forgiveness rise naturally, not forced, not rushed. This forgiveness is not permission, it is freedom. God releases forgiveness before truth. So bitterness does not interfere with clarity. The eighth sign is the closing of other distractions. Old connections fading, old patterns dissolving, old attachments losing their grip. God clears the environment before revealing truth. He removes interference. The ninth sign is the strengthening of your discernment. You sense intentions quickly. You read energy accurately. You detect sincerity without words. This discernment is essential for this moment. The 10th sign is the peace that remains when you imagine hearing the truth. Peace is the ultimate confirmation. God does not bring truth wrapped in chaos, chosen one. These signs did not appear by chance. They are the fingerprints of divine timing. God prepares both the speaker and the listener. This moment required preparation on both sides. Heaven is also revealing biblical parallels to help you understand the weight of this return. In Scripture, truth often returned through unexpected messengers. Joseph's brothers returned with truth after years of silence. Jacob and Esau met again after separation, not to resume rivalry, but to restore understanding. The prodigal son returned with confession, not entitlement. These returns were not about restoring the past. They were about correcting the narrative. God uses returns to bring closure with dignity. Another confirmation is the way your spirit resists rushing ahead. You feel no urgency to decide anything. No pressure to respond emotionally. This restraint is wisdom. It shows you are being led, not driven. The person returning carries truth, not control. That distinction matters. Truth does not demand outcome. It simply. Heaven also confirms this moment by strengthening your sense of identity. You no longer define yourself by how things ended. You define yourself by who you have become. This stability allows you to receive truth without losing ground. Another sign is the lack of fear. Fear signals danger. Peace signals alignment. Your calm confirms that God is involved. God is also reminding you of your resilience. You survived the separation. You rebuilt your life. You reclaimed your peace. You discovered your strength. Nothing about this return threatens what you have built. That is confirmation. The truth coming will not undo your progress. It will validate it. Heaven reveals another sign. You have been feeling led to reflect rather than react. This posture allows wisdom to guide your response. Reflection is the language of maturity. The person returning has been reflecting as well. This alignment of reflection is intentional. God has synchronized your seasons. This moment also exposes the difference between love and attachment. You now understand that love does not require self-abandonment. This understanding allows you to hear truth without romanticizing the past. Chosen one. Heaven wants you to recognize these confirmations so doubt does not creep in. Doubt distorts perception. Clarity protects discernment. This return is not meant to test you. It is meant to affirm you. You are not being asked to reopen doors. You are being invited to receive understanding. The truth coming will not surprise God. It will not shake heaven. It will not confuse your spirit. It will simply align what was once fractured. God is also confirming that this moment will be brief. Truth does not linger unnecessarily. It speaks and releases. This is not a season. It is a moment. The outcome is not emotional attachment. It is emotional release. The confirmation continues in your strength. You are not afraid to hear the truth. You are ready. This readiness is evidence of growth. Chosen one. Heaven does not orchestrate returns lightly. Every return serves purpose. This one serves closure, healing, and clarity. Your life is moving forward. This moment ensures you move forward unburdened. The signs are clear. The alignment is real. The truth is coming and God is with you in it. Chosen one. Now heaven turns its focus toward your strength. Not the strength you show others, but the strength God has built inside you quietly. The strength that endured confusion without explanation. The strength that healed without apology. The strength that learned to stand alone without becoming bitter. You are not the same person who was left behind. You are not the same heart that once waited for answers. You are not the same spirit that carried unanswered questions into sleepless nights. God has reshaped you. He has refined you. He has grounded you. This is why you can receive truth. Now, heaven wants you to understand something clearly. You do not need the truth to validate your worth. Your worth was already established by God. The truth is coming to affirm what you already know in your spirit. You were sincere. You were genuine. You were faithful. You were not too much. You were simply aligned with someone who was not ready. That realization should empower you, not weaken you. When the truth is spoken, you may feel a quiet release, a sense of confirmation, a feeling of clarity settling in your chest. That is not sadness. That is freedom. That is the weight lifting. That is God closing a chapter gently rather than abruptly. You are allowed to listen without responding immediately. You are allowed to take time to process. You are allowed to hold silence. Silence is not avoidance. Silence is wisdom. God is reminding you that you are not responsible for their healing. You are not obligated to fix their regret. You are not required to soften their realization. You are simply a witness to the truth. Your role is to stand in dignity. Heaven also empowers you with this truth. You have learned discernment through pain. Discernment did not come easily. It was earned through disappointment, through betrayal, through confusion, through waiting. That discernment now protects you. You will recognize sincerity. You will recognize manipulation. You will recognize regret. You will recognize honesty. You will recognize whether the truth spoken carries humility or hidden expectation. This discernment is your shield. God wants you to walk into this moment with confidence, not emotional confidence. Spiritual confidence. Confidence that you are guided. Confidence that you are protected. Confidence that your peace cannot be taken. You are not entering a fragile moment. You are entering a clarified one. Heaven also empowers you to release expectations. This is not a moment to imagine outcomes. This is not a moment to plan responses. This is not a moment to revisit old dreams. This is a moment to receive information. Truth does not require imagination. God is teaching you how to love without attachment, how to listen without losing yourself, how to empathize without sacrificing boundaries. These are skills of spiritual maturity. Another empowerment heaven gives you is emotional sovereignty. Your emotions belong to you. They do not belong to the person returning. They do not belong to the past. They do not belong to regret. You are allowed to feel without being consumed. You are allowed to care without compromising. You are allowed to forgive without returning. God is strengthening your emotional posture so that nothing pulls you backward. You are also being empowered to recognize the difference between closure and continuation. Closure feels peaceful. Continuation feels uncertain. Closure brings relief. Continuation brings anxiety. Closure feels complete. Continuation feels unfinished. Pay attention to how your spirit responds. God empowers you with self-trust. You doubted yourself before. You questioned your instincts. You ignored red flags. But now you trust your inner voice. You trust the guidance of the Spirit. You trust your discernment. That trust is essential. Another empowerment is the restoration of your narrative. You are no longer defined by how things ended. You are defined by how you grew. You are defined by the resilience you developed. You are defined by the wisdom you gained. The truth spoken will not rewrite your past. It will correct your understanding of it. Heaven also empowers you to walk away if needed. Not out of bitterness, not out of fear, but out of alignment. Walking away does not mean rejection. It means honoring your growth. You are not obligated to revisit what God already heals. God is also strengthening your compassion. Compassion does not mean agreement. Compassion does not mean return. Compassion simply acknowledges humanity without surrendering boundaries. You can hear their truth and still choose your path. That choice is strength. Heaven empowers you with patience. You do not need to respond immediately. You do not need to offer reassurance. You do not need to soften the moment. Let truth speak fully. Let silence do its work. God often speaks in the pause after truth is revealed. Another empowerment is clarity. You will not be confused. You will not be overwhelmed. You will not feel pressured. Clarity will guide your response. This clarity comes from healing. Heaven also empowers you to release any lingering self-blame. The truth coming will confirm what God already showed you. You were not the reason it ended. You were the reason it mattered. This realization may bring tears. Not tears of grief. Tears of relief. God empowers you to move forward without carrying unanswered questions. Closure clears mental space. It restores focus. It strengthens confidence. Your future benefits from this moment. You are also empowered to protect your peace after the conversation. Do not replay it endlessly. Do not analyze every word. Do not reopen emotional loops. Receive the truth. Acknowledge it. Release it. Peace is your priority. God is preparing you for what comes next. New connections, new purpose, new alignment. This truth clears the final residue so you can step forward fully. Chosen one. Heaven wants you to know that you are not losing anything in this moment. You are gaining understanding. You are gaining confirmation. You are gaining closure. Your heart is safe. Your future is secure. Your identity is established. You are empowered. And God is with you, chosen one. Now heaven speaks a warning. Not to alarm you, not to frighten you, but to steady your footing as truth approaches. Discernment must lead this moment. Emotion cannot be allowed to take the throne. The first warning is this. Not every truth spoken is an invitation. Some truths are confessions meant to free the speaker, not reclaim the listener. You must listen without assuming obligation. You are not responsible for what they choose to do with the truth once it is released. Truth can be sincere without requiring response. The second warning. Do not confuse vulnerability with readiness. A person can speak honestly and still be unprepared for change. Tears do not always signal transformation. Regret does not always signal growth. Discernment will reveal whether truth is followed by responsibility. Watch actions, not words. The third warning, be careful of emotional nostalgia. The enemy often disguises distraction as memory. He will remind you of laughter, of closeness, of moments that felt safe. But nostalgia only shows fragments, never the full picture. It edits out pain. It silences confusion. It rewrites reality. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Memory should not be more important than wisdom. Fourth, stay within your limits, even if the truth seems honest. Lines between things are not scary walls. They show that you are an adult. You didn't just build them by chance. You made them by going through pain. Do not take them apart when you are feeling angry or upset. Setting limits protects your future. This is the fifth alert. Do not rush from forgiving to getting along. When you forgive, the past goes away. For reconciliation to work, trust has to be rebuilt over time. They're not the same. Forgiveness is respected in heaven. Heaven needs wise people to make peace. It's free to forgive. Get in by earning it. This is the sixth alert. Watch out for spiritual manipulation. Some people say what's true, but are really trying to get power. They might say things that make you take the blame. They might talk about regret in ways that make you want to feel better. They might want to feel better instead of being responsible. What emotion misses, discernment will pick up. This is the 7th alert. Do not downplay what you went through. Truth doesn't get rid of effects. Understanding does not fix what is wrong. You can admit that you are in pain without being judged. Being kind to yourself while you heal is okay. Your pain was important. This is the 8th alert. Expect conflict within the group. When old memories come back, even hearts that have been healed feel tension. You are not going backwards just because you are feeling emotions. It means you're a person. Don't be hard on yourself because of how you feel. Do not let your feelings make you decide. When wisdom listens, emotion goes away. This is the 9th alert. Watch out for promises. Words about change need to be shown to be true over time. Promises made when you're upset can be broken when you feel better. Do not tie your hope to your intentions. Hold it to consistency. Being consistent shows the truth. The 10th shout out. Don't forget who you are now. You're not the same person who loved without thinking. You're not the same heart that saw confusion as a way to connect. You are not the same spirit that took on duties that were not yours. Don't back down to make them feel better about the truth. The 11th word. Keep your peace of mind. Peace means that everything is right. If talking makes you feel bad, take a break. Get away from people if they make you feel down. Peace points the way. God doesn't lead us through chaos. It's the 12th warning. Keep an eye out for hidden resistance. The enemy doesn't always attack straight on. He sometimes uses emotional gaps to put off fate. If this return gets in the way of your growth, prayer, focus, or calling, you should think about where it belongs. You should question anything that makes you feel bad. The 13th shout out. Do not feel bad if you grow up with someone. Growth is not lying. Giving up is not healing. It's not arrogance to be high. God put you apart for a reason. You have the right to change. 14. The last word. When you tell some truths, they shut doors, not open them again. Coming to an end can feel like a letdown. It doesn't always make you feel very strongly. There are times when it leads to quiet understanding. Let go of the idea that closure is bad. 15. The last warning. Do not tell other people about this right away. Guard what God is doing so it stays holy. Too many voices make things less clear. Before you ask for opinions, sit down with the truth, knowing how to value silence. Be careful. After the truth is revealed, you can expect spiritual opposition. There may be whispers of doubt. There may be a return of confusion. Do not give up. Once the truth comes out, it can't be taken back. Light can't be hidden. No 17. Be careful. After that, be kind to yourself. It takes time to process the truth. Do not hurry to get better. Do not rush to make choices. Let things settle down. Healing keeps going in stages. The 18th alarm. Don't think that this return sets the tone for your future. It shows what understanding is. God, not people you've met in the past, shapes your future. Things are going to happen. The 19th shout out. If their truth includes blaming while pretending to be honest, take a step back. The truth doesn't blame. That's what it says. The truth is responsible. Pay attention to how they talk about themselves. The 21st hint. Remember that being able to discern is a gift. Don't be shy about using it. Without a doubt, trust it. God made it sharp for this time. Picked. Heaven isn't telling you to shut down. Heaven tells you to stay safe. There is meaning in this moment. Not because of who comes back, but because of what you've turned into. You are no longer driven by desires. It is wise that you follow. Fear no longer drives you. You are stable and at peace. If the truth comes to you gently, accept it. If the truth hits you hard, take a moment. If the truth comes with pressure, don't give in. God's truth will never rush you. The message is not about danger. It's about being smart. You are moving into a time when every choice needs to be based on clarity. This is one of many times when you need to be wise. You can do it. You're all set. It's safe for you. And God is keeping an eye on you. Picked. Finally, heaven speaks clearly about what this return really means. Now is not the time for the past to take you back. It's about destiny making sure you grow. It's about how God ends one story with truth, so that the next story can start without any problems. This coming back is a spiritual turning point. There are times in life when God lets someone come back, not to stay, but to testify. To prove that your love was real. To prove that you didn't mean any harm, that your heart wasn't stupid, and that you needed to leave that situation. Now is one of those times. The truth that you are about to hear is not meant to make you feel bad. It's meant to help people understand better. It's meant to answer questions that have been bothering people. It is meant to bring peace back to places where there was once a lot of uncertainty. God is making sure you didn't lose anything important. You outgrew something that wasn't finished. Before you move on to the next season of purpose, this has a deep destiny connection. God makes sure that old emotional stories are finished. Destiny can't be fully accepted as long as there are still pieces of confusion. The pieces are cleared by this return. You're getting out of an emotional debt. The person who is coming back is not going to be in your future. They are going back into your past to take responsibility for what they did wrong. That recognition takes weight off your spirit. It gives you back your emotional power. This is not about being right. It's about being free. Heaven tells you that your destiny needs you to have a clear heart. You are about to start a time when you will lead, affect, build, and have an effect. That assignment would be hard to do, because of emotional residue from the past. God gets rid of problems before they can grow. You are getting ready for an increase. This moment also proves that you are smart. You had a feeling there was more to the story. You thought that something wasn't right. You just knew in your gut that the ending wasn't complete. That gut feeling was right. Insight is valued by God. The return proves that you are spiritually sensitive. It shows that you weren't dreaming. That's proof that what you thought was true. It shows that your spirit knew what was going on even though you didn't have all the facts. This confirmation makes you more sure of your plans going forward. God also wants you to know that love doesn't end. Love can sometimes fulfill its purpose by showing the truth. Not all love stories are meant to last. Some are meant to teach. Some are meant to make better. Some are meant to wake you up. Yours woke you up. The person who is coming back now knows what you meant to them. They know the depth they weren't able to reach. They know the stability they tried to avoid. They admit that they messed up with love. Making that realization is not your job. In order to move forward, it is your job to get clarity. A pattern is also broken by this return. It's possible that you were left with questions in the past. There may have been silence after endings. There may have been some confusion, but this time God made it possible to understand. This is progress. A lot of the time, destiny tells us to close doors in different ways than they were opened. Not in worry or pain, but in the truth. God is fixing your story so that you don't bring false conclusions into future relationships. You will not doubt your worth before your next connection. You won't be afraid of being left alone. You won't shrink to make someone feel better either. This return gives you power for the future. Heaven also says that a soul tie is ending at this moment. Not through anger or force, but through telling the truth. When truth takes the place of illusion, soul ties break down. At the root, you are being set free. There's a message here. In the Bible, truth often came before elevation. It was okay for Joseph to be promoted. David was cleared before becoming king. Before restoration, Ruth was known. Truth comes before fate. God is getting you ready for a new adventure. New alignment, new link, and new goal. This return makes sure that you don't go into it with any unresolved feelings. You shouldn't think about the past again. You should be able to rise above it. Heaven wants you to pay attention to how stable you feel right now, how steady and calm. That means this return doesn't have any power over you. This does not make you unstable. You are held down. Bound hearts don't move backward. God is also reminding you to be smart about how you respond. There's no need for you to reassure them. You are not required to give them closure. Through the truth itself, closure is taking place. You don't have to save anyone. This is another truth from the prophets. This return means that the lesson is over. When a lesson is over, it doesn't happen again. The same dynamic will not come back to you. You have changed. The next season will show how much you've grown. In this way, God is also showing you that your love has grown. Your love is now wise. You now know how to follow rules. You are now in touch with discernment. You need to be this mature to get where you want to go. Hi, chosen one. This is not a dramatic time in heaven. It is in order. It was done on purpose. It is exact. God is putting things in order in a quiet, careful, and planned way. Telling you the truth won't change your path. It will prove it. It looks like you're walking forward, not backward. You can't turn around at the return. It's a point of confirmation. You are not the same person who left. Who you became makes you who you are. Heaven says that your future relationships will be based on being clear, ready, and growing together. You won't bring old wounds into new relationships. This return makes sure that the person who brings the truth back is just a messenger, and not the end point. The task is finished as soon as the message is sent. Your fate is waiting for you beyond this moment. Heaven speaks peace over your mind, your spirit, your memories, and your heart, chosen one. You're safe. You are being led. You've been set free and are now ready for what comes next. Picked. This message is now over in heaven. Not quickly or under a lot of stress, but with peace. Everything that needed to be shown has been shown. Everything that had to come to the surface has. Your spirit can now breathe again. This moment was never meant to make you go backwards. It was meant to loosen up what was hanging around. God doesn't leave His chosen ones with loose ends. He ends chapters in a way that is clear, kind, and honest. Your future is not in the hands of the person who comes back with the truth. The last key was the truth itself. Once it's spoken, it helps people understand and moves you forward. Right now you're not losing anything. You are getting calmer. Heaven wants you to understand this well. You didn't do anything wrong when you loved deeply. Hope wasn't a bad thing to do. It wasn't wrong for you to believe in potential. When it's real, love is never a mistake. You did not make the mistake. It was never you who was stopping you. This truth makes your heart at ease. God also wants you to let go of any fear that this moment will stop your healing. It's not going to happen. Being able to understand does not undo healing. It makes healing stronger. You are no longer weak in the face of the past. You have a firm grip on the present. Hearts that are anchored move forward with confidence. As this chapter comes to a close, heaven gives you a quiet blessing. May your mind stay clear. May the hurt of your memories go away. May your heart feel better than it has in a long time. May peace come in place of questions. May doubt be replaced by clarity. It's okay for you to fully let go. Now, God blesses your ability to see things clearly. I hope it stays sharp and doesn't get hard. May it lead you without leaving you alone. Please don't close your heart to be safe. It's not fear to be wise. It's love wrapped in knowledge. When alignment comes, you'll know it. May your future connections be blessed. People who come into your life should meet you where you are, not where you were. May they follow your rules. May they value your growth. May they walk with you, not behind you or in front of you. The next season will be different for you. God bless you for being brave. The guts to listen without giving up. The guts to hear the truth without giving up. The guts to stay still when old feelings try to come back. The guts to walk away when things aren't right. You have become brave by going through hard times. Your heart is blessed with rest from heaven. Don't think about the past too much. Don't think about what might happen. Take a break from carrying a load that wasn't yours. Give your emotions a break. Rest is something you were born with. God blesses you with a stable spirit. This truth will not shake you up. You won't be thrown off by memories. You won't be pulled back into the mess. You will stay steady. Hearts that are steady can see clearly. Heaven gives you peace of mind. May anxious thoughts be quieted. May over-analysis go away. May things stay clear. May wisdom help you make choices. Peace keeps your mind safe. God bless the way you go. You can go on the road in front of you. The season you're moving into is lighter. The links that come next are better. The unfolding of purpose is in line. This return did not put off your fate. It made way for it. Heaven also says that your feelings will be safe after the truth is told. Do not take on guilt that is not yours. May you not carry around regret that isn't yours. Do not take on responsibility that God has already taken away. You are not in charge of making sure someone else is ready. God bless your ability to forget about your worth and forgive others. To forgive is not to forget. When you forgive, you choose peace. You have now been given peace. Love, may your future be clear from heaven. You'll know safe love when you see it. You'll know mature love when you see it. You will understand love that goes both ways. You won't mix up intensity and closeness. As before, you are smarter now. The end of this message marks the end of this chapter. There will be no drama, confusion, or lingering attachment. There will be only understanding, peace, and release. You are moving into a time when your past doesn't whisper, where your spirit doesn't wait for answers, and your heart doesn't wonder. You now have them. Pick one. Have a peaceful night. May your days be clear. May your heart be at ease. Thank you for the chance. You're not behind. You're not behind schedule. You're on time. Every step has been led by God. The ones that hurt, the ones that make no sense, and the ones that are quiet. There was no waste. This moment was important. Move forward now. Carry less as you walk. Walk smarter. Feel free. This chapter is now finished. What comes next will be peaceful. Picked. Please like this video if this message spoke to your spirit. This will help other people who need this confirmation. Sign up if you want to keep up with the messages God is sending out right now. Please. Let me know if this word fits with what you've been feeling. Pay close attention. There is still talk from heaven. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary, where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, The link is waiting for you, in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work, and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.